I'd like you to think about the last time you encountered someone standing in the way of what you needed. How did you react? Did you walk away? Did you push for your way? Did you give in to theirs? Did you find a mutually satisfying outcome? How did you decide what to do in that moment? Did you decide, or did you simply react? Now imagine yourself in the following experiment where you're paired up with someone else, and maybe you know them, maybe you don't, but the other person holds out their hand and makes a fist. You are instructed to get that fist open. Go. Okay, time's up. What happened? Did you get the fist open? What was the winning technique? Did you pry at their pinky or pull at their thumb, or perhaps you tickled them? Perhaps you tricked them into shaking your hand, or maybe you even bribed them with cash. If you found your imaginary self doing any of these things, you're not alone. In fact, when this very experiment is actually conducted in real life, 80 to 90% of the participants in any given group immediately, without any apparent consideration of alternatives, engages in these very tactics. And those greeted in this way generally do not open their fist, at least not voluntarily, and many succeed in fending off their attackers long enough to survive the exercise without losing. Now, it's all in good fun, of course, but the results are telling. They suggest an overwhelming predisposition to responding to a barrier with competition or a forceful approach. And why wouldn't you? After all, how else would you get your partner's fist open? Well, here's where it gets interesting. Whereas most people immediately default to force, there are usually a few who take another path and simply ask their partners to open their fist. That's right, they simply say, "Would you please open your fist?" And lo and behold, it works. At least 99% of the time. And in some cases, just to make the point, subjects are actually secretly instructed to ask their partners to open the fist just to increase the numbers of those who do it. And the results are consistent. 99% of those asked do it. Afterwards, when the majority who employed force hear about the alternative cooperative approach, rather than criticizing it as weak, they actually express regret and envy. "Oh my gosh," they say, "why didn't I think of that?" And that brings us right back to my first questions. Did you think, or did you just react? When met with opposition from another, if we don't stop to think, we humans tend to put up our defenses or assert our way. And the more we push, the more we pull, the more we dig in. Conversely, when we start with the cooperative mode, we just might find that the other reciprocates too. The choice is yours, but the key is to consciously make that choice. And that requires pausing to consider your options before reacting. So, the next time you feel resistance, rather than pushing harder, perhaps start by asking a genuine question or by making a yesable request. You just might surprise yourself with the results. And if the cooperative mode doesn't pan out, you can always start a fight later.